Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Mark's working late tonight, and this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Thursday. We're getting there. Tomorrow's Friday. We're getting close. I hope everyone's safe, everyone is doing well. Look out for yourselves, look out for the people you care about, look out for public health protocols in your region. That's the SSAM PSA for today. So, it is Thursday, so we are going to revisit life after Caretaking. As you know, we've been following creator Cynthia Beaumont and her channel, which has changed names numerous times in the last 3 to 4 months. Let's see if we can do it. I'm not sure I can. Cynthia and Thomas Beaumont, Cynthia Beaumont, Jersey Girl Journals, Cynthia Talks Tea, My Little Part of the World, Made You Look, Cynthia Beaumont. I think we're back now. Okay. And content has changed over time. Originally, on the channel, the content, for anyone who's new, was her and her husband. And Tommy, unfortunately, got cancer, got sick relatively suddenly, depends on your perspective, and passed away. So that was about 3-4 months ago as well. So she's still sort of in the grieving process, which I would like to think accounts for some of this really effed up behavior she displays on YouTube. That would be my excuse for it, because if you take that away, So we're going to pick up, I think, where we left off last week. And like every week, a few themes seem to pop out with Cynthia. So this week we're going to look at a couple. One, how hate mail, real or imagined, is good for views for her, which she knows, and if she's having a slow day, will come up with something. We'll talk a little bit about Tommy's birthday celebration and how he was remembered. And also, touching on e-begging, it's been beat to death, but e-begging in light of the 4 boxes that she purchased for herself this week. So we'll start, I guess, with the hate emails. Now, I have her brought up here because I'm so obsessed. And apparently in the comments, there's this one woman who's like, all of us are jealous also. Cynthia would be the first person to tell you that she's got nothing but a loaf of bread and 2 cats. I'm not sure what the rest of us are jealous of. I find her life curious and interesting, which makes me a viewer, because that's, what draws viewers in, curious, interesting things. Doesn't mean I like her content, just means I'm finding interesting. So, where we left off was her being ungrateful for getting money from Tommy's coworkers, and not mentioning it at all until somebody pointed it out. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come up. And she said, it was nice, but it didn't really go very far, so you want another thank you? Thank you. Oh, and she thanked the individuals in a video because she knows they watch. No card, no nothing. So then, beauty box number 1, Target. Only $7. I think she feels defensive, like she has to put the price in the thumbnail, so people are like, you're not spending that much. A muffin mukbang. Bakes chocolate chunk muffins in chat. That's gotta be the 8th muffin thing. But I think she likes them and people mail them to her, so she goes from there. And she's up to her knuckles in a muffin in the thumbnail. Very special fan mail. Always makes me cry. Tears are always good for that. 1.6k views. Now this one is not on the bullet points here. Cat loves strawberry lollipop. Okay, so this is a 10-minute video of a cat, one of her cats, which confirms that they're okay, eating a lollipop, licking a lollipop. Now, I'm a first-time pet owner. Bandit is the first pet I've ever had, and I guess Oscar would be the second. Oscar is our now outdoor cat. We've fed him enough that now he's dependent on us, so he's ours. So if he gets sick, we take him to the vet. If he has a problem, we have to take care of it. So now we have 2 cats. But as a first-time pet owner, I wasn't sure about the frequency with which a cat goes to the vet or gets it clipped or taken out. I can't recall, I'm not saying she's a bad pet owner, but I can't recall any time they put the cats in the carriers and took them on the bus to go to the vet, or that Betty went and drove them, or maybe Cynthia's mom did. If Cynthia's mom had taken them, she hasn't gone in 3 years. I just know that we have to take Bandit for shots. Just maintenance type stuff. So that was curious to me. I was thinking there's the cat, and then I'm thinking, and he looks a little like Bandit actually. And I'm thinking, I wonder how often the cats get out. I know she likes animals. I don't agree with the way she tends to the feral cats outside, but I think it's one of those things that comes from a good place, but it's not a good thing to do, but it comes from a good place. So, I would not feed my cat a lollipop. I don't think it's good. For a lot of reasons that I can't articulate, I just don't think it's good to feed cats candy. I just don't think it's a good idea. Good morning, here are my plans. Who cares? Real Housewives of New York recap. Who cares? Allure July unboxing, only $15. So again, we're defending. These all kind of intertwine. We're defending what we're spending, it seems like. Special announcement plans for Tommy's birthday. Now, one could argue that she kind of oversold this. And there was discussion in a few different places, in the comments and in other blogs, that this was long overdue. Because I think people felt that there should have been a memorial type thing for Tommy after his passing. Shortly after his passing. Now, when Cynthia's mother died, I don't think it was immediate. And people passed judgment on the way Cynthia cries, mourns, grieves, crocodile tears, crying without tears. I think I've shared thoughts on that before. At any rate, when her mother passed away, they had a picture of her mom, and they had her cremated remains, and Tommy was there, and they had some pictures, and she just talked about how she was feeling, and grieving, and all that kind of stuff. And that was, I think the video was called Saying Goodbye to Mom. And the thumbnail was her mother looking pretty with a sundae and a flower on her hat. And it was a nice video. Her mom was a part of the channel. And I think her mom got a hoot out of probably seeing herself, like, on YouTube and having fans. I think the word fan probably meant a lot to her. We don't use it. But, for an elderly woman to be videoed and see herself on, I think it was probably cool. So that was a nice tribute to her. Tommy, it seemed like once he was gone, he was gone. I mean, for a few days after, Cynthia was easy to well up, it seemed. And then, bam, lipstick. Bam, new content. Who knows what she's doing off camera? Of course, Who knows what she's doing off camera now? I can take a guess. I think she sits around and waits for packages all day. But, So, people were waiting for the memorial for Tommy, and I think people thought this might be it. Maybe for his birthday there'd be like a montage of pictures. Cynthia's got 4,000 to 5,000 videos on her channel. There's plenty to work with. There's pictures of Tommy from 10 years. You wouldn't even believe how much he had aged in 10 years, too. Or maybe you would. He looked so different, like back in the video where they were doing the chicken dance. If you found that, I think Mr. E might have picked it up somewhere, or it was floating somewhere out there, if you came across it. They both look so much younger, my God. I mean, what time will do. But I thought some old footage would come together. And the birthday plans, which people asked about and nothing really came from, I'll talk about that in a second. She tests out a toothbrush. She talks about hatters, the lengths hatters will go to. So, here's what I was talking about with hatters, the Mad Hatters. Haters videos selling. The two previous videos from that day, not too much. Testing out toothpaste. Okay, the fact that 900 people saw that makes me sick, but okay. And then the hater video, 2.2k views. So, and the lengths the haters go. I think she was talking in this video about Tommy's, it might have been this one, perhaps another. Tommy's memorial went up on the funeral website. There was like an online memorial where people could post on the comments section. And she said people left some very bad comments about her there. I don't approve of that at all if that's what happened. I've heard mixed things. I've heard people have actually found them and see them. I've heard people said they went and there was nothing at all. If that happened, and I could very easily see it happen, because there's people who I think very rightfully comment on things about Cynthia that are, she how can I put this diplomatically? She marches to her own drummer, and sometimes that rubs people the wrong way, and they want to voice their opinion about it. However, I don't think his memorial at the funeral home is an appropriate place to do it. Full stop, period, the end. I don't think it's okay. So, she brings that up, and victim Cynthia seems to get people to come out of the woodwork. So that goes through. And then she sticks the camera out the window because it's raining. ASMR. There's good ASMR, there's bad ASMR, there's amateur ASMR, and then there's really pro stuff. There's all kinds of takers. I watch another channel, actually, that does reviews on Cynthia and commentary and stuff like that, and they have some really good ASMR. The creator lives out in the country, and just a bunch of videos strung together. Very relaxing. So, what did I do today? Early morning shopping. I mean, she's got nothing going on. HelloFresh. So there's another box that we're getting this week. HelloFresh cheesecake. What am I eating this week with HelloFresh? Doesn't freaking matter, because it's just, okay, I understand this. Mark and I have been through, since we've been together here in this apartment, a couple tough financial times, where food is never scarce. I mean, we're good with rent, food, the basics. What happens when things were tight, like when Mark was sick, was you don't have cable for a month, maybe, or, you use your data because you don't have the internet, or the bill's late. We were never late on like the electric or things like that, but maybe your phone goes off and you use Facebook Messenger instead. Like, you make accommodations like that. We had Every Plate, and we had some credits on Every Plate from folks who had used our referral link. And we had ordered Every Plate, and we weren't making the recipes exactly as they were. So we were just using it kind of like groceries. Like, they would send 3 kinds of meat and a bunch of produce and some seasonings, and we would just make food out of it. So it was a way to supplement the grocery bill. Mark and I actually don't spend, I think, a whole lot on food for 2 men. But I can see doing that. So I see her getting the HelloFresh boxes. And I'm not mad at her for butchering the recipes. She has always butchered the recipes for HelloFresh. One, because I think she's picky. 2, Tommy was very picky, and he just had everything just had to be just so, and slathered in butter. All of it. Nothing spicy. It had to be just the way he wanted it. And she was trying to do the housewife thing, I think, and make everything just the way he liked it. And, kudos to her. But, I mean, I remember in the beginning of the HelloFresh boxes, she was making, like, banh mi, and she would do it right by the recipe, and Tommy would very politely take a bite, and, he didn't seem to like it. So after a while, she was just using it like groceries, too. So I'm not mad at her, if money is tight. It just keeps going. She cooked a steak from HelloFresh. And then, here's Tommy's birthday. Happy first birthday in heaven, Tommy. Now, aside from Cynthia, this isn't a Cynthia issue. I take... Happy first birthday in heaven. I'm of the opinion that people stop having birthdays once they're dead. Call me cynical. I do think that a person's birthday is a good time to remember them after their passing. Maybe more enjoyable and joyful to celebrate a person on their birthday if they've passed away than the day they died, like the anniversary of their death. Just speculating. So, I've seen those ads in the paper, happy 80th birthday, and, how, you don't keep, I don't know. I don't know anything about the afterlife, but I'm guessing there's not as many clocks. I don't know. At any rate, this was a nice opportunity I think people were hoping for, where it's going to be a tribute, and photos, and a lifetime of memories all put together. They've been on YouTube 10 years, there's a lot to work with, and she kicks out 2 old videos from the stockpile from Christmas, before Tommy was very ill. And all this reminded me of... The first video was about the cats, not Tommy. And the next video was Vlogmas, and Tommy went out to feed the birds. And it's nice to see him. He's starting to get sick here. He's already looking thin in these videos. And it's a little... I mean, it's not hard to watch. Am I invested? Do I know Cynthia personally? No. Did I know Tommy personally? No. But if you guys are like me, when you watch YouTubers for a long time, you get that sense of knowing them. Like, you see them every day. You kind of do get emotionally invested, right or wrong, into what's going on. And this reminded me of how oblivious and how unimportant his circumstances seemed in light of fucking Dollar Tree Christmas shit. I was like, there's more important stuff going on right now than this. I don't know. Then she tried out some yogurt. Can you tell how, uninvested I am at this point? I don't mean to get off track. I mean, I did prepare for this video. I wanted it to be more discussion and not so much reading my notes. And I did have the themes picked out. But is anybody else, like, kind of... The very end, by the very end, I will tell you why I am much closer to over it. So fan mail and hate mail all in the same day. Again, because the mukbang was low, the vlogmas was low, kaboom, we get hate mail and the views go up. So, she's not naive to that. Much like she's not naive to the fact that if she kind of casually mentions she's out of soup, it shows up in the mail. So, we just had great news actually in Pennsylvania. You can now use your food stamps to order groceries online. So, maybe that's going on in New Jersey. You know, people as poor as she says she is qualify for that. So, that could be an option for her too. She wouldn't have to spend her own money for it. She could free up money to buy more boxes, maybe. So, but the hate mail that came in was funny, because I don't even think she opened it. It was just a piece of mail to hold up. She doesn't even get 2 lines into reading them. And she said that a lot of the hate mail starts with, "I used to be a fan of yours, but..." She doesn't read the rest of it. The part that involves self-reflection is the next part. When someone says, "I was a fan, but..." The next part of that is, I think, the part that I would want to see that says, "Here's what changed. Here's why I used to like you, but here's what happened." It's like, you don't like me, bye. Like, you don't... I don't think I would learn that way or grow that way. Now, comments like that are really hard to take. They're very ego-bruising. When someone says, "I used to be a fan of yours, but you've changed. I don't like your content anymore. I don't like this anymore. So goodbye," or whatever. This hard line of "you're with me or against me" is very childish. Immature way of looking at things. I just don't think, I don't know. I think it's more of a personality thing than anything. Cynthia has waxed philosophical about the condition of haters, or hatters, if you will, talking about her, saying that these people are crazy. She had specifically said these people are bipolar, you don't know what they're gonna do. As an individual with bipolar disorder, I must confess, under treatment, I do quite well. I'm usually not as reckless as to throw a loud tantrum over a rotten potato. That's not something I usually do too much. But that's just me, because I have a little more self-control, because I'm not a fucking child. Okay? So, and if you think that I'm being harsh, let's watch the video about playing with Dollar Tree toys. Okay? Or pretty makeup. Because after all this crying poor, we have Single Swag July unboxing, and it was a little too much money, $25, and please use my link. So, when we have a person who in one video shares their adult problems, and then in 5 more videos acts like a child, and then when the kitty shit stops, starts again with their adult problems. I'm broke, I can't pay the rent, None of these watching these videos has anything to do, in case anyone's confused with how monetization and AdSense and Google paying you works. She knows right now if she can pay the rent for August. If her only income is YouTube, she already knows if she can pay for August. So, you know, watching this right now has no impact on that. It would have an impact on paying, oh god, September's rent already? Where did life go? Wasn't I just in high school? Shit. So that's not, you know, going on that. We just got paid. You know, the 21st is payday for all of us. People's channels change sometimes right after that. Like, Chantal's taking a couple days off. She's having a mental health concern at the moment, so she's apparently taking time away at the moment. So she probably binged and wants to hide. That's cool, whatever. So at any rate, hate mail, again, to review, seems to sell. The head wagging seems to be, I don't know, I don't buy it. I don't buy the tough girl persona. I don't either. Someone who actually had that level of nerve and confidence wouldn't hold up in their apartment all day. They'd go out and give the world a piece of their mind. And also, they would have the nerve to look in the camera when they're doing it, not at themselves, because they're not performing and practicing, they're actually looking at the viewer. So there's a little bit of a difference going on there, too. That used to happen quite a lot in the crying videos. Let me make sure I look sad enough. So what is the lesson this week? Well, one lesson for me is that I didn't have to dig too deep to find out that I still take exception with some parts of her life. Areas, let's see, where I related to Cynthia this week. We'll see, because we're not all that different. So let's see, where is there room for relating, compassion, anything, something. I spend a lot of time home alone now. I've been working from home now that COVID is spiking again in Pennsylvania. My organization where I work for a nonprofit. We're back on remote working. So like this, I'm in Zoom meetings a lot. I just had one earlier today. So it's hard being home alone. And she's home alone with nobody coming. Ever. Unless she pays them. Or they're a delivery person. So to that end, I can see where she can get excited framing her day around a package coming. I'm not saying I think that's a little sad, but I understand. I would hope for her that her world would get a little bigger. And I think she'll say it's COVID, and then it's that she's disabled. It's like she's always got a reason not to do something else. And it's excuse making. It is. It would be if I did it, it would be if you did it, all of us. But I don't know. I just hope this isn't it. Pam had said once, hi Pam, I hope you're watching. She had said if Tommy wasn't there, this was when Tommy was alive and just beginning to get sick. Pam had said, Cynthia, if Tommy was there no longer, you'd still have to do things. You couldn't close up shop and just quit. If this is what going forward looks like for her, I guess that's, whatever. Is her channel going to grow from this? If this is her source of income and she wants to do more than just skate by, she's going to have to grow her channel. She knows if her channel's growing or not because she hides metrics that the rest of us can't see. If you go to Social Blade, you can look at her income projected and kind of get an idea. But even that's not a lot to live on. She's making as much a year as someone who's working minimum wage, like 30 hours a week or something. So, we'll see. So yeah, a little compassion for a person who lives alone. No compassion for someone who's blowing their money on beauty boxes. And then, it's one thing if you can't pay your bills and you keep it to yourself. It's another if you say, I can't pay my bills. Look what I bought! Okay, so, alright. Last one, I promise. So, let's try to put a bow on this, if we can. Let's put some lipstick on this. What is the takeaway? Let's try to do a nice thing here. One compassionate thing that I can throw onto this here. Because nobody's all bad. Are they? Or are they? Well, this is the only forgiving bit of context I'm going to throw over the top of this. And I think I said this last week as well, and I probably said it every week. Cynthia, for all her abrasiveness and obnoxiousness and head-wagging, has only been without a husband for 4 months or so. And prior to that, she had a partner in crime for like 25 years. Prior to that, she had been with her mother because Tommy and Cynthia got together when Cynthia was very young. So she's never had to function as an adult. That's her problem to fix. However, if she's never had to deal with adult emotions, like, death, outside of her mother passing away, and she had Tommy to kind of adult her through it, I think, maybe this is how it's manifesting. A lonely widow. On the surface, any other lonely widow who was eating a lot and shopping a lot and making a lot of videos, I would say she's lonely and she's coping by shopping and eating a lot of food. Would I give her that same extension of, you're probably not doing well by yourself, but I can understand your circumstances? If she wasn't such a high-riding, maybe. So, Cynthia probably has feelings. You remember when Macy's was only getting guarded by one police guard? She was inconsolable. So somewhere in there, there's a heart, I suppose. And I guess I'll hold on to that for her. The things that she loves and cares about are the kind of things that I usually couldn't care less about because it's stuff. It's not like people, or memories or things like that. But nevertheless, there's got to be a person inside there somewhere. So, but until and unless that comes out, what is displayed on this channel as content is e-begging, hostility, showing off of money spent, and then begging for money for things she needs, which is interesting, contradictory, sometimes funny, always a little irritating, and does make for good watching, even if it just grates on your nerves a little bit. Which is why I continue to review it, and which is why I guess we'll be back next week too. So this was much more conversational. Let me know if this worked out for you, or if you'd rather me have my notepad and kind of bullet point it along. Let me know what you think. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the like button and the bell on your way out so you get the alerts when a new video comes up. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on the Twitter at SmokeySteveA. We left Mark out. Our email address and contact info is all listed down below. Thank you again, and Mark and I will catch up with you tomorrow. Have a good Thursday. Bye.